So it's like we agreed on getting a new TV, and I said I do not like. We have a 65-inch, and I think it's already too big for our living room space. And I'm like, do not go bigger. And he's like, okay. And then of course he's like, okay, are you gonna work from home on Tuesday because it's being delivered? I'm like, yep. And so the guys knock on the door and slide in the TV. And I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. And then shut the door and look at the size on the TV, on the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, 75 inches. I just sent him a text saying, I love you, but I'm not happy.
I just want to preface this, but I still love you. This isn't the final straw. This isn't the straw that broke the camel's back.
But it's one of them.
It's definitely a straw.
It's one of them. It's a straw. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I just said my car keeps getting more expensive.
Her new car that she's going to get. She keeps like adding options.
You have to be like 75-inch TV. I'm getting huge iPads just in the backs of each seat. Even the ones for the dog. They don't even need it.
Yeah.
iPads.
I said a panoramic sunroof.
Ooh. Okay, here's a question, you guys.
Shoot.
Okay.
Why don't electric cars roofs? Why aren't they just solar panels?
Sorry, what'd you say?
That's how electric.
No, they don't. But if there was a battery and the solar panels connected to the battery, to be able to charge it when people park their cars, when they go into work and they're just sitting in the sun for 8 hours, why would they not charge them free energy? You know, and I don't want a conspiracy theory yet, but I have a theory.
I don't know, man.
It might be because it's free, but that's not conspiracy. I'm just saying. Well, I talked to Edward about it because he did tons of his schooling was about from New Zealand, you know. Anyway, tons of his schooling was about green energy, and he was super into it. And so I said to him, I was like, why wouldn't they do that? And he was like, I don't think the technology's there. And I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then he was like, probably not. And I was like, well, shut up. That's pretty much how that conversation went.
Oh, okay.
Not there. We've had sunroof, we've had solar shit forever now, it seems like.
So anyway, Danielle wanted to know what you were drinking.
Oh yeah, so are you drinking tea and you're drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade?
No, actually, I poured the Mike's Hard Lemonade into here so it looked like I was drinking tea.
Smart.
Yeah, that's how we get away with, that's what it reminded me of. That Bob's Burger quote when Linda's like, Mommy doesn't drink, she just has fun. Yeah.
She just has fun.
Yeah, Mommy doesn't drink, Mommy doesn't get drunk, she just has fun.
Fine.
Excellent.
I don't think we
It's
have enough
so
time
very-
to do the podcast.
You know what?
I have enough time to do your face.
What time do you need to jump off of here?
No, let's just keep going because we just need to do it because I want to. I'm
be done with it.
honestly
I'm done.
starting to hate the book right now, and I shouldn't, but I do.
Frankie does too. He's like, and then we'll never read this again. He said that
Never again.
Okay, let's
It
just
just
do it.
causes so much harm.
Do you want me to just get us going?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Unseasoned Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about... Hi. Oh, yeah. You guys can say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
No one watches this, but hello. So...
We're hoping people do.
I don't. I just want to annoy you guys and waste your time. So... Today we are talking about book number 2 of the Nora Roberts Chronicles of the One series. The book is called Of Blood and Bone. We've already recorded episode 3.
Okay, look, there's been problems with recording the second book. So if Frank sounds a little nonplussed, it's not because the book is bad, it's because we're sucky and we're having a really hard time just getting this podcast out.
Yeah.
But we're so committed right now. It's just Christmas week and we're a little tired. So anyway, keep going, Frank.
And we love this book. We do. We love this book and we love Nora Roberts.
Yeah. Although we might
we
say, and then the stupid girl did this, and then the stupid girl did that.
We're not recording this podcast, though.
I am.
Now we're really not doing it. We don't have time for you. We have time for the podcast. We don't have time for your ad soon.
Yeah, suck it up. Suck it up.
But
we're all here.
We are here. The book that we're doing is Of Blood and Bone. So that's the book. It's book number 2.
Yes.
We've already recorded number 3. Whatever. And that's the end of the series. So...
There were 3 books in the series. We are re-recording.
Yes. You know, the thing is
that
they won't even... They won't even know that this was a re-recording of book 2.
I just want them, though, to know why we sound like...
The energy level. The energy level is super low.
Yeah.
Anyway, the book. We loved it. It's so good. I've said this so many times.
Victoria,
They're not actors.
Yeah.
They have to just do the same line over and over and over and over. And then someone's like, sorry, I can't stop laughing. You're like, I will slit her throat.
Think about this. Well, think about this. They don't have to mess with any of the tech stuff. They just have to show up.
Yeah, just show up. Okay? Saving Private Ryan. Everyone just died. Just show up.
I could be.
Just cry your eyes out.
I could be an actor.
I would hate it if someone said that. They're like, it's not hard to cry. It's very taxing.
I could cry easy. Well, yeah, it's taxing emotionally, but it's not difficult to do.
But they're like, cut. And you're just like, my dog, you know.
You know what Jason Bateman said about how he keeps a straight face, or how he used to, I believe, on Arrested Development. So everybody would be. What?
Is this gonna harm my mind?
No. It's funny. No, it's funny. What he would do is everybody would be cracking jokes, and he has to play, you know, like he's not happy, he's playing serious or whatnot, but he wants to crack up, obviously, as the person.
Responsible brother, right?
Yeah, he was the responsible one out of the whole family, and everybody else is a bunch of idiots. And so what he'd do, he said, the only way I could get through it without cracking a smile is I would have to go into my head and think about how everyone is going to die. This person's going to be driving home on the freeway and getting in an accident. This person's going to burn in a fire. And I was like, Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God. You went to like a dark place.
Yeah.
It's just going to harm my brain. So it's like, no, it's funny.
It's totally fine.
No.
Everyone's gonna die.
Everyone's gonna die. Although I do think that all the time about everyone, including myself, and I'm like,
yeah.
And I feel like that's why
You're depressed.
I'm so bubbly, which is bubbly. Why I can just pop up. Because people are like, why do you wake up so early? And I'm just like, because I just want to be awake. It's like, because I'm thinking, I'm going to die. Get up, dude. Your time is running out. Like, get going.
The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking.
Yeah.
The clock's just going. And nothing stops it. It's going whether you're sleeping, doing nothing, or doing something you hate. So do something you love and smile today. Put it on a t-shirt. Victoria. Merry Christmas.
Cool. Back to the book.
Yes, back to
Segue.
the book.
Yep.
So this was written by Miss Nora Roberts, and
Yes.
Whether you want it.
I know
How
she's
old is she
married.
now? How old is she now?
She's 95.
No, she isn't.
No, she is sad. Okay. Put it out.
She's 95.
722.
She's a vampire.
Her husband was in World War II.
Spoilers! Frank's like, you want me to do this? You want me to get it? Okay. Go.
Yeah, so Nora Roberts, she wrote this. Obviously, very famous author, written under J.D. Robb. Writes a lot of romance, a couple spy things, I believe. But really a lot of like sort of, I believe, romance. And then this series, though, that we read was a fantasy. But super accomplished author, obviously. Very famous.
And she's 72.
72. Hey, I'd be a wingman to my grandma. Both are dead, though, so.
This took a real turn. This took a real turn.
They're your grandmas, too, and they're dead still.
Think about it, it's Christmas. Jesus Christ.
Shit, that's funny. Oh, we have to do reviews of what other people thought of this too. I forgot.
He's like, oh shit, we have to do more than I thought.
He's like, oh wait, we have a like a thing we're doing right now. Okay, hang on.
You're all messed up.
Real professional.
You're all messed up. I know.
I don't think we're mentally prepared to do this podcast. If I'm
That's what I was
honest, we
saying,
may
dude.
want to do it.
That's what I was saying. All right, let's just let's just slog through this piece of shit.
Okay, pull it together, man.
Loving the energy right now.
Okay, let's get into it though. Okay, Blood and Bone. We think you should read this. Obviously, this book is fantasy book. It's the basic idea of the story is that there was magic long ago. It's been long forgotten, and so people are going about their normal lives. Takes place in basically modern day. Then there's this ancient family guy that's living in Ireland, accidentally breaks the seal and opens up the
you know the one we're
seal.
talking about.
That one.
Jesus Christ. So if you get me off topic, I'm just gonna go down a dark hole. So.
I'll go back to the grandma discussion.
You gotta help hang the TV. Pull it together, man. Okay.
I know. So
book two.
Okay.
Book two, and
hold on.
magic was lost to the world. There was these seals that was protecting darkness from entering the world, evil, and then it also kept magic out of the world as well. That seal gets broken by this ancient family on accident, and then this virus comes out that was born out of magic, kills pretty much almost all the population, and then magic comes back to the world as well. So people are regaining lost power. So there's witches, elves, fairies, werewolves, or shapeshifters is what they call them, warlocks, all that sort of thing. And now there is darkness again in the world, and it's obviously an apocalyptic setting, and people are trying to survive and eventually, hopefully, take down the darkness and restore order to the world. That's the basic idea of this series.
And we left off in the last book where everybody had converged on New Hope. They had made this big community, like trying to make a town a real town, because everything else had been basically annihilated, right? And then we know that Lana is pregnant with the One. So does anybody want to describe what the One is? What? What's
So we had New Hope, and they created this community. Everything else is done. Lana's pregnant with the One. Anybody else want to go? That's it.
Right?
That's what I got. Because it was all true, but you just abandoned it so quickly. And that's what I got. Now let's move on to the next person. Because I was sitting back hoping that you were gonna just keep going, and you just said, "Okay, now who wants to go?"
There's a one.
So there's a town, and a lady's pregnant. Next person, go.
Like up on the group discussion.
Yep.
They're like,
Yep.
everyone's gotta speak, and
Yep.
I'm like, town, person, pregnant, the one. That's all I know.
Go. Yeah.
What? I stood up. I said some shit. Like, no.
Yeah, you didn't do any of the project, but you go up there and you just try and bullshit your way through it.
I know generally what happened. I know the basics. I know the outline.
Okay, so the one. Danielle, you want to take that one?
Sure. So,
Take it away.
so book one, we leave off with Lana running away from New Hope because it was attacked to protect the one who she's pregnant with.
Mm-hmm.
The person who's supposed to be the savior for
Yep.
you know, the race. So that's where we leave
The
off.
race.
Not the race.
Which race?
Oh, yeah.
Which
Which
you
one
talking
are
about?
you talking about? Because I see
Which
that you're
one?
white. You're white. Is
The
that?
human race. Oh, okay, so
We both immediately get. Excuse you.
Yeah.
no, I think you guys are a little sick. Okay,
Okay, go.
so yeah, so the one that's supposed to be the savior of the human race and fight against the darkness, build an army against the darkness, and so
Why are you guys small in the frame?
What?
Why are you guys so small?
You know what, Victoria? How about not when we're all the way into this podcast? Do you have a problem?
Okay,
with
keep going, Kelly.
so book two.
I'm
Never getting through
Yes,
this.
we are. Book two, go.
Book two.
Yes, we do.
Book two. Starts out.
What book are we reading?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We've all said no.
Okay.
We've all said book two a lot. I was just making a joke. I apologize.
Okay, so now the story begins, reminding us of the evil that's going across the whole world.
Yep.
Why we need a savior.
Yep.
That there still is light in the world.
Yep. But painting it black and white, evil
very-
and good,
Yes.
no in betweens.
Correct. It is very black and white. And so we learn of where Lana ended up with Simon and the loving home that they've built for not only Fallon, the one, but also her three brothers, right? So they all grew up on this idyllic farm. Really just it's really the foundation for Fallon to build on and remember of like what she's fighting for and why it's so important to just keep persevering, right? Through all of the
Awfulness
terrible
she's going to go
things.
through.
Yeah, and see and
Yeah.
experience.
So she's on this farm. She's growing up. She spends her first 13 years here. Now, at the beginning of book one, when what's her name again? Fallon. When Fallon was born, this wizard appears and he says, Lana and Simon, I'm going to come when that daughter is 13 years old. It just made me think of a disgusting joke.
Plus, you messed up anyway.
Also, you said at the beginning of book one.
Oh, not the beginning. End of book one.
There you
Okay, so at the end of book one, when Fallon is born, wizard appears and says to Lana and Simon, when Fallon is 13 years old, I am going to arrive and I'm going
I'm arriving!
I'm going to show up. And I'm podcast.
Oh my god.
It's we're childish. We're all childish, stupid idiots.
Well, now I can only think of I will arrive.
Okay, so the wizard is going to show back up when she's 13, and he's going to take her away for 2 years.
Screaming, I'm around. You must go with my daughter.
Oh, dear Lord, help us, please. Help us.
All I can picture is like a drag queen, like coming out on stage, like I have arrived.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I see it. I see it. Okay, everybody, focus in, and I'll take over. I'll take us home. Malik's gonna show up when she's 13. He's gonna give Fallon a choice. She can come with him and train for 2 years to become the one. She doesn't have to. She has that choice. But if she doesn't, basically the entire world is hosed. Yep. Everybody's going to die. The darkness is going to win. And Lana and Simon are obviously upset by this, but they have 13 years to live with her. So, book 2, Fallon is born. We get a brief summary of those 13 years she spent. Like Danielle said, idyllic time. But then Malik shows up on her 13th birthday, appears at the edge of the farm. Instantly, Fallon knows he's there, and she just goes to him. She doesn't want to leave, but she knows she has to, because she knows that she is the one. She senses it in herself, and she has that responsibility. Everybody has this, huge, everybody's crying and whatnot. It's sad, but she leaves. She's going with Malik. As soon as she leaves with him, she's instantly thinking, I want to go back home, because this is a 13-year-old girl. But the cool thing about Malik is he was born in the year 671. Spent the first 10 years of his life just basically growing up. Spent another 10 years training with a master, and then 10 more years training in solitude. And then he's basically hibernated until the moment that Fallon was conceived by Max and Lana, and then he woke up again, and he's been preparing for Fallon to arrive. So Fallon learns all that, and it keeps her interested, keeps her to basically
wanting to learn more and
continue the journey. Yes. So show up at Malik's cottage, and now you're going to see throughout this book Fallon training with Malik at this cottage, and then you're also going to get glimpses of New Hope. Another cool thing that Fallon learns is that she wants a bathroom. And this thing only has basically, I believe, does it even have an outhouse, or do you just go outside?
it has like an outbuilt. Honestly.
Can't remember, haven't read it in a long time. So there's something.
But like an outhouse situation.
Or no running
they don't
water.
have running water.
Yes.
You can't have a bath.
Yep.
You can't have a shower.
No, it's like a
Yep.
well. Like
Yep.
a well, you can get water, pump
Yep.
water out.
Yep, you got to splash it on your bottom. Gross. So, Malik says to her, "You don't need running water, you pansy little 13-year-old." But I
remember
will.
reading that.
Yep, it is there. Nora is 95. She's losing it. But, but Malik does say to her, and this is the classic thing that happens, right? I'll give you a bathroom, but first you have to complete 3 quests, which is like, oh snap. You know that obviously these aren't to get the bathroom. This is really for Fallon to grow in her role as the one. And she's going to get 3 things that she needs to be the one, to fully actually become the one. The 3 quests are, she has to find the white owl with the golden apple. She has to find the white wolf with the golden collar. And she has to find the white horse with the golden saddle. And
Yeah.
these quests
Bitches
are
are gold, so.
yeah, these I had nothing for it. I had nothing came to me. I had no response. But this book is basically, you're going to see a bunch of training stuff. Fallon's going to go on these quests. She's going to meet her little lover boy, first sort of kiss, Mick. I mean, it's, you know,
Lover
young
boy
love.
is little.
Yeah, he's a creep.
Yeah.
He's a big creep.
No,
And it's typical with romance novels.
Doesn't have opposite direction.
But
Well, the cool thing is right now Fallon is living in a community that's almost entirely made up
Yes.
of magical people,
yes.
whereas she's been growing up in her sort of
It's just a
this,
typical
you know,
farm
Lana, her
style,
mom.
right?
Yeah, and they're focusing on basic living,
Yeah.
learning how to live simply, and
Yeah.
so it's living the majority without magic is
Yeah.
what she's known so far. And so now she's thrust into this world that is this magical world, because Malik has to open up the almost what do they hide it. He hides
yeah.
it.
Yeah, he hides the entire area, not just the cottage, but the entire area he lives.
Yeah.
It's like an
So
illusion.
when they first arrive, yeah, he has to open it, and this forest that they're in, the cottages in, and all these other people's, Mick and his family and all of them, because there's another village there, they're all magical people. So
Mhm.
Fallon's learning about them, interacting with well, I think she teaches them about basic sickness, because that
Mhm.
runs through, and they're teaching her about living magically, completely magic lives, because that's all they've known.
Yeah.
And so she's getting both sides of the coin with Malik here. So that's one of the really cool, interesting things about going with Malik, is
Yeah.
her life becomes completely magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she learns potions and stuff too.
I was
She
gonna
doesn't
say
just
that.
learn. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
spells.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean you to stop talking. but they described the scene in the cottage, and it's kind of, you would think of like Hogwarts, where there's cauldrons out, there's spell books, and different ingredients that you'd use to make different potions and stuff. Like Fallon sees all this when she comes in there, which helps her to basically stay there, because it's obviously a child's curiosity that wanted. Well, I'm not a child, and I would fucking stay there with some old man, but but
Whoever is hearing this, that's an old man that wants to kidnap Frank. Please don't. Just please don't.
well, you know how to set up the
Don't
room.
know
If you tell me,
potions.
yeah, I got some potions for you.
Yeah, don't.
So,
Like, this not seduce me. I'd fucking go with an old man. Old man.
what? No.
Just advertise your cinema because I'm easy, man.
Yeah, yeah. You guys want me to keep going, or you guys want to describe more of the book?
I think that
So,
part should be at the beginning of the podcast.
Our
I'd fucking
random-
go with an old man.
a random comment.
Yeah.
Just has to anyway. So this book.
It's like, what is happening?
I'll try it. I'll see how it plays.
So okay, so yeah, Fallon is learning about all of these new things that she really hasn't been exposed to. And it's like a whole new community that she is exposed to. And then also Malik is teaching her all of the skills and knowledge that he knows, which, if you can only imagine, I mean, he trained what, for 30 years, and then he went into this. He wasn't fully asleep, right? They describe it as he was.
It's like a stasis. It's like being kept in stasis.
Yeah,
Or even a
so
coma.
He's aware of time passing,
Yeah.
right? Which is just insane to think about. But
When you're in a coma, you still have thoughts and dreams, and you can feel time passing.
yeah, so
Don't go in a coma.
yeah, message. The message of today is don't go into coma. That's just don't.
Don't go into a coma. Don't tell old men how to get you interested. Okay.
lots of things happening here, but
little tidbits we've learned.
yeah, but it's really just preparing her, right, for all of the battles that are coming, and the different obstacles she's gonna face, which is, it's so cool learning about her journey and all of the, and you see her change and lose her childhood in
Yeah.
the second book, and she really
Embraces.
embraces it, and instead of having fun and going to the fairy parties. She's spends her time talking to people about battle strategy and those types of things. So it's
And different places they've been to, because a lot of those people, they had experienced the atrocities
yeah,
that are still currently happening,
Yeah.
and been to some of those encampments
yeah,
or
and
prisons.
had
And so
been captured
that's
by
all she's interested in.
yeah.
Yeah. She's like, what? Tell me about the layout. Tell me about how many people were there. How many did you see? Like, she becomes so focused on just how becoming the one. Like, how
Yeah.
do I stop this from happening?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all she becomes interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Nora Roberts. Just she sets it up so well as how she builds on each book and pulls you into each book and keeps you interested.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It really is.
And it just, the second book is, it's definitely like the montage book where we're seeing Fallon go from being a child to taking on these. She's still a child, just say it. She is still a child by the time she has to take on all of these challenges. But the process of going through all of this information, first having the foundation of what it's like to just live almost completely magic free, even though she is trained a little bit with her mom, she's lived a basic, a life that we would probably find similar. And then she goes completely into this magical side and builds on top of that foundation. And we see her become way like an adult way too soon, of course, but she is the one. And so, yeah, we see her do this transformation, this montage into being able to deal with the obvious, like, monumental task that's coming up, which
Good thing
is
you got that life insurance.
how to friggin' battle all of the dark. This is insane.
It really is.
Yeah, it is.
But it's definitely the montage book.
Scary.
It is, yeah. I mean, they're actually, the one thing we should say before you read this book, definitely trigger warning, man, because Nora, she will describe some of the terrible, terrible things that the dark will do. Any of the evil people, even there's non-magicals that are evil, and there's magicals that are evil, and they do some horrific things, and she describes them, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
So if you're not good with violence, basically, trigger warning, be careful when you read it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it definitely,
It
does. It gets heavy, but it sets you up of, okay, let's take these motherfuckers down,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Which is what you want. I mean, it's Nora doesn't fill everything with nuance. She really lets you know which side's good, which side's bad, which side you want to be on, and she allows you to just be excited for the heroes to do great things, and that's all you're reaching for is, come on, let's get some crazy battles, let's have some wins, because these dark side people suck and they're doing awful things, and you're hearing about some of them. They're dotted in there, these stories of what kind of things they're happening on the daily. That's made apparent to you, but they're dotted in there of what kind of crap these people are doing on the daily, and Nora really makes it simple. Like, this is who you're excited to win. You want to be there for their big victory. And so the second book is you just want, it's hard because you're torn between, like, imagine if you had number one, if you were Alana and Simon, you had to let go of your own child to go and do this crazy thing that she's gone for years. You're not going to see her. And she's learning all this crazy stuff only in preparation for her to go and do more crazy stuff. I mean, that's already, you're like a little torn. And then you're just torn because Fallon has literally hardly any time to be a child at all. Like, her 13 years, you understand why Lana and Simon were like, didn't want her to go. Because they're like, 13 years is not enough for the huge change that's going to have to happen. The growing up you're going to have to do in such a short period of time. And that's it. That's your childhood's gone. Now you know too much, you've seen too much, and that's all Fallon's, experiencing. In the second book, because we find out that she had visions in the beginning of the second book of the dark, and that's one of the reasons why she knew that she had to go with Malik, right? She had, I think she said, didn't she say to Lana that she had looked? She had seen a little bit. She said to somebody that she had seen a little bit
Don't ask
of
me.
the devastation.
I don't
Yeah, and and she gets frustrated with her brother, and she pulls back the veil. And
Oh, that's
shows,
right. She
and
did.
shows him
Yeah.
like why she has to do what she needs to do.
Yeah, he was freaked out.
Yeah, and so
That's right.
Yeah. So we're really torn because you definitely want, she's the one. Nora makes it really clear, like, she's the one. We need her to finish this.
yeah.
That's her path. But it just, you feel for her because you're like, dang, that's a heavy burden.
Yeah.
You see that Malik had that heavy burden, but like his is kind of like training and then being in stasis and then basically, feeling this almost like, a family member to a person that he's going to have to send off into battle, which he's going to go with. But
Yeah.
it's kind of sucks because you're seeing this child. I mean, imagine training a child and you know what they're going to go experience. Nora makes it really clear. It is a very emotional book. She does write it really well. She makes the story clip along really seamlessly. It just keeps on going. There's not a bunch of stopping points where you're just like figuring out a bunch of detail that you don't really care about. She really keeps it flowing forward, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely feel torn for this second book. It sucks for Fallon. She's badass.
Yeah.
It's built in her, but it still sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the only other thing I think we should mention about this book really is they do talk about New Hope. The main people that you're seeing there are Duncan and Tonya, who are Katie's kids. That is the ancient family. They have magical powers, and we're seeing them grow up. And we're also seeing New Hope, the community that's basically the beacon of light for the entire world. That is going on rescue missions and raids to basically push back the dark and to help other people out. And so you're also going to see that in this book. And at some point, you're expecting those two to meet up. And the question is, will they? Because that's where Lana came from. And now Fallon is basically the leader of the light. And New Hope is the center for the light. So is she going to make it there or not? What's going to happen with that? What are Duncan and Tonya going to do? And nothing else. Never mind. And the other thing I would say is if you remember, Fallon actually had a dad that died in book 1. And she actually gets to see him in this book
And have a conversation.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Is it though, or is it bad? Maybe you gave too much. Maybe it goes horribly. Maybe he's been consumed.
Maybe that's what Nora would do to you.
You want some floss? Is there anything else about the book that we should talk about? Because I think that's plenty of information. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens. We don't want to give too much away. You don't get to find out what happens with the quests because they are pretty cool. What happens with the love interest? Then another love interest comes along, and then there's a love triangle. Uh-oh.
Spaghetti nose.
Just saying.
It's a good
You
book.
never want to be a
We
part of
want
that
you to
love
go read
triangle situation.
Yep.
It's a struggle.
Me, an old man, and a spell book.
No, I think it's you and old man and Dora. So basically, you being the unicorn for Nora's relationship.
Nora, if you're out there.
Oh man. This is Frankie's personal podcast.
That's what I call my alone time.
Yeah.
My personal podcast. I'm gonna go a personal soapbox. Like, stop. Please stop.
All right, everyone. Hopefully, we enticed you enough to go read the book.
Yeah.
We do hope you read the book. We're really sorry that we look so sweaty. I don't know. I look sweaty, but I just
speak for yourself.
I'm so sweaty.
Yeah,
Just
Danielle
watch
looks
it,
like
cops.
a fucking ghost with that camera.
I do. I hate this.
That camera sucks a-hole. Victoria and I
switch
actually look
cameras.
like we have color. I would notice instantly.
That's because I have so much color on.
That's because I fucking sunbathe.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is because Frank's hat's really colorful, but your shirt is just like white and gray, Yelly.
Yeah,
So
you have
maybe
a
that
shitty
does have-
shirt, so wear a better shirt. Fucking
Wear a-
idiot.
Dress better next time.
Yeah, basically, your clothes suck.
Just try better generally.
Victoria, no, it's the camera. The camera's horrible. It really is. It's
All
just
right.
a horrible camera. No, we literally have to do the reviews still.
Like fucking guy. I hate you.
I'm done.
I know. Well, what we could do with the reviews, honestly, is we could like read them tomorrow or something. We don't have to do it today.
Let's just do it.
I have them up on the final tab.
Okay.
Okay, so now we've given our review of the podcast and a little summary, a little teaser. Let's see what everybody else had to say about it.
We'll read some.
We're gonna pop these up on the screen while we go, so you can enjoy what we're seeing.
And I'm
I'm
gonna
not
pop
saying
a
it.
Xanax in my mouth. Just relax.
Oh my goodness.
Pop a Xanax and chill out.
Pop
Stop this
half a
podcast.
bar and let's get to podcasting.
No, just be like that. Bob's Burgers. Take one half of the Xanax, and then just take the other half.
It's like just take the whole thing. By
Pop
the
that
way,
other
I just
half.
want to say I don't think any of us here have ever done Xanax, so this is obviously we're not
I have never
promoting
taken a
Xanax.
prescription drug.
Yeah, she's never had
I know it was
antibiotics
like
either.
a
She's
computer.
never had vaccines. She's gonna die in about 10 days.
Oh my god. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vax your kids.
Oh shoot.
You should really.
No, go up, Danielle, and go to the top of the reviews, and then go to 1 stars. Okay,
We're gonna-
so
We're going to the
Mark-
bottom of the barrel, guys.
Mark that lives at 328 10th Street
Oh,
in
stop
Illinois.
it. That's not.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You can't put that in.
Yeah, no, I put it in.
Of course, we're not going to. We're not going to put that.
Let's look, but we gotta look for funny ones.
Okay, this person, like, hello, read the back of the book before you. Oh, when I read a book about surviving the end of civilization, I want it to be real and real life situation, not witches, fairies, elves, etc. Like, what did you
That's
read?
literally the whole book.
Did you
It's
read the back
literally.
of the book? What is the first
Wait, are
book
these
called?
the second
The-
book
the-
reviews? Are these
well, the-
second book reviews?
It's called The Chronicles of the One. No, it's called Year One. So
Year
it's just called Year One.
Okay.
The Rise of Magic is really where you see magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but still,
Still, again.
idiot.
Okay.
And
We
that
saw
is
magic from
that
the
is
beginning of the
Dave
first
in
book.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay, stop. Stop.
Wait, go back. Oh, the first one. You're telling me this fucking person was like reading it, and they're like, what? Witches? Magic?
Yeah.
What?
It's
And then
literally
they
in the
get done with
first
it, and they're like,
sentence.
whole thing, the whole book, the whole thing was about magic.
Yeah.
I'm leaving a review. Like, who has time for that in their fucking life?
Well-
Like, go get a
And
life,
then
Karen.
they're
Did he read the
saying-
book or series? Did he read the book or the series?
Then they're saying, I can't give
Yeah.
these books away. Amazon won't take them for trade-in. Nora Roberts, the disappointment with these books is
Wow.
monumental.
Wow. Because of magic. Why is he so against
Dude,
magic, dude? Magic's sick.
Monumental.
Listen, no offense to Nora Roberts. No offense. Listen, no offense to Nora Roberts. No offense, Nora. But the real reason why we read this book was because of the magic. Like, we weren't going to go read the Nora Roberts romance. So,
I'm
just
sorry,
saying.
Nora Roberts. I have enough crazy romance in my life. I don't need to read your romance novels.
Yeah, it's called
okay?
Pornhub.
I've been.
Romance stuff.
I messed up. Boring and confusing.
Give up the ghost. Prince is dead, Nora. There's no
What the heck?
Stop.
Oh, this person's complaining about their binding.
Yes, let's hear
defect.
it. Their binding was defective, so rate the book low.
The first 12 pages were inserted into the book, but not bound. This is defective binding and renders the book defective. It's in all caps.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh my god.
Slow.
Did anybody tell that
person
that
they're
defective?
editing error.
They received it in
Your life. We're not bound to you. So you're defective. I said, this makes this person defective. That's why they're leaving this comment. Fucker. Who has time for this?
The person ordered the book in May and didn't start reading it. They left the review in July, saying, "I ordered it in May, but didn't realize until I opened it that the pages were falling out." It's such an idiot.
I don't care that the pages were falling out. I feel like they got a few pages missing in their own, mind. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I feel like they were.
This book is
goodness.
defective.
They gave 1 star. I did not intend to purchase the Audible for this book. Please refund my account. Come on.
And remove the Audible from my Kindle.
Oh my gosh, they didn't even Google it. You can automatically refund for Audible and trade in your books. They don't even know how to use Audible. Idiots.
This person said they love Nora Roberts books, but they couldn't get into it because it was too confusing.
Did they read the first?
They're an idiot.
No, I think what it is they're used to reading a certain type of book, and it has a very certain type of way that it.
Yeah, called
And then
she
you
took off her
add in-
pants
You add in
and touched
right,
her
took
labored labia,
things were going on downstairs.
her
Yeah.
quivering labia.
And then, and there was the prisoner who shouldn't have been a prisoner, was too attractive to believe was a prisoner, and then expecting something to very, very, what is it called? To go along with their normal Nora Roberts books. And this book did not do that. And she's unhappy with it.
She wanted more sex.
She wanted...
Wait,
that's how you end it. She wants more sex.
That's basically it.
What?
I mean, and see, we came to this because it didn't have sex, and we weren't going to sit here and talk about sex the whole time. Now, this person is saying that the book was sexist?
Yes.
What? How?
Okay, so they said, okay, wait, this is a review for the first 2 books. I read the first book and thought it was okay, but I wouldn't read the second one. After a few months, I forgot how bad it was and started the second book. I think the only thing that pulled me in was the pandemic, since it's opportunity time and read about illness ravaged the world population. And I liked the creepy NYC setting. I like fantasy and post-apocalyptic novels. That's how I found this book. I never heard of the writer before, and wow, I never will read her stuff again. The men were tough, aka we saw some toxic masculinity, men asserting that they could control women, while the women were weak-willed and forced back into archaic gender roles. This only got worse going into the second book. Not to spoil anything, but there were strong rapey vibes and comments about a character not saying no so the guy could do whatever he wanted. Hard pass.
I think the people that read these books... How do we say this?
I don't know.
They...
Let's read one 5-star review now.
But no, let me just say this. The fact that somebody would say that it's sexist and that the men were tough and the women weren't, literally Simon, a soldier who had feelings for Lana, never expressed them, not once, allowed Lana to be an independent woman and just help her out because she was obviously pregnant in a post-apocalyptic world, and then only expressed his love once she did because she had also lost her former partner. It's like, how dumb are you? I'm just saying, dude. Literally, people are... You know what? I hope the doom comes to this world. That's all I'm saying.
You can tell that breaks in a very, It's a rickety fucking rocking chair that's been on the fucking porch for hundreds of years now. Hundreds of years.
I'm a
And at
grump.
any point, that shit will fucking collapse.
Yes.
You know what? I'm done. I'm not safe anymore, clearly, because my chair is broken, and I'm fucking done. So you just,
Yes.
any of these reviews, it's a
Yes.
downward spiral.
Yes.
Waiting to happen.
So great series, of course. Blah 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 blah.
Get a long one. Get a long one.
Consider my rating a 4.5. They gave it 5. It's like, okay, no one cares.
4.76.
Consider my rating a 5.
It's Olympics ratings. You know, they're on the bars, the uneven bars. They're like, whoa, didn't hold their feet close together on that turn. We're not gonna give them the full fucking 10.
Yeah.
Come on.
A couple of characters. So his
Danielle
quibble.
looks like she has a gun held to her head when her head's that close to the fucking mic. Read the review, Danielle. Just read it.
I was just the reason it's a 4.5 is because the gasoline is still in use and it's a little problematic. Because after
my
Wait,
God.
read the next sentence. Since I understand.
from reading plenty of other post-apocalyptic that it would go bad well before 15 years are up. But that's a small problem in an otherwise excellent setup.
Have they heard of fuel
Not being
extender? Because it does exist.
I don't.
People put it in their trucks and in their gas tanks.
Listen.
That they're gonna keep them time.
I was in at fairies, witches, elves, and warlocks. But as soon as you tell me gas lasts 15 years, I'm out. That's all I'm saying. Because I know. It's like you're so...
You know what? This has turned dark. So we love you guys.
3.73 out of 5. That's all I'm saying.
We
I give that
Give it a
review...
six-
I give that review...
6.89 out of 5 because you don't understand my ratings. I don't need you to.
I give him a 0.6 out of 1.76.
It's because he stuck the landing.
Just saying.
We love
He
you
didn't even
guys.
get up.
We
Thank you
do.
for
This is a good series. Read it. The next episode you'll hear is where we're finishing up this series, which is The Rise of Magic, also by Nora Roberts. You shut your dirty little mouth. And we all love you. We want you to like and subscribe if you appreciate it.
I might like you. I don't know you well enough yet. But
Well, I don't
we'll
even
figure
love
that
you
out.
two, but listen, we're just lying so that way they'll enjoy our podcast.
Oh my god.
Look, I definitely love you two.
Look.
For sure.
Definitely.
I also like you. But I don't know if I like everybody who's watching this. Because that's one of the guys who's watching it is probably giving the 4.56 review. I can't get along with that person. They're way too specific. They're
give
pedantic.
that
They're
response
shallow.
a 2.27. That was a 2.27 response to
All right.
Out of
you
one,
responding to the
because
love
they're-
comment. No, out of 17.48. So do the math. But on a serious note, everybody, if you do like it, please like the podcast. Please comment
Thank
if
you
you
so
think
much
we're
for
idiots. Yes, thank you so
We're
much.
idiots. Don't tell us, do you think we're idiots? We already know that. I already
No,
know
but
that.
I
Tell
wanna
me
hear
you think I'm
why.
smart.
Okay. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay.
So done.